the IGI Laboratory Director, Mr. Stephen Andrakis. And we have the Managing Director, the IGI Managing Director himself, Mr. Bob Van Es. Sirs, the stage is yours.
Sorry, do we have a remote or not? Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everyone. As our lovely host introduced me, I'm Bob Van Es. I think I just should be a little bit more specific. I'm actually Managing Director of Hong Kong and Thailand, covering most of Asia Pacific. You gave me a global role, so thank you very much for my promotion. Yes, so this is a short agenda for today. It'll probably take about 20 minutes. I will cover the first point, and my colleague Stephen, he will cover point 2, 3, and 4. Sorry, small technical hitch. I don't want to do. All right, so IGI is the largest independent certification body in the world. We are operating 31 laboratories around the world in 18 gemological schools based across 10 different countries, and we issue in more than 8 million reports per year. So we are, so we're extremely active in all sectors of the industry, from colored stones to diamonds to jewelry, and we were the first laboratory globally, gemological laboratory globally, to issue or to grade and issue finished jewelry reports. We also partner with the majority of the international celebrated brands, the iconic brands, luxury brands, and we do screening and detection of their melee diamonds. So that's very small diamonds, usually below 1 point or 0.01 carat, and they submit it with IGI to make sure that the jewelry they produce contains no mixed diamonds. Mixed diamonds, I mean lab-grown as well as natural. So that's another important part of what we do. Okay. All right, what is the role of a laboratory? So in the modern world, even gemological experts like my colleagues, they need scientific equipment and tools to authenticate gemstones, to detect any treatments, make sure it's genuine, make sure it's not been treated or in any way. And the IGI grading reports, they give a thorough and accurate assessment of the gemstone's value setting details, which is very important. As there's many different ways markets operate. The market in America might be different than here in the Philippines or Thailand. The IGI grading reports are consistent, and they use consistent terminology, and every report uses the same strict international standards. As I said earlier on, we also do lots of screening where we make sure that parcels of small diamonds or also larger diamonds are natural and not mixed in any way with treated or laboratory grown diamonds. So basically also confidence is very important in what we do. People, because we're dealing with high value merchandise, so people trading, a buyer and a seller, they have to have confidence and trust in and that's what IGI provides and supplies to the industry. Our reports give trust and people give confidence to trade high value merchandise. Sorry, I was a little bit too fast. Can I go back one? Okay, the role of a laboratory. So the role of a laboratory, the first most important role of a laboratory is authentication. We authenticate when somebody submits with us a piece of jewelry or a diamond or a gemstone, we authenticate it first. Okay, so it's very important that we authenticate, that we determine exactly what we're dealing with before issuing a quality grade. Our second very important role is we do bulletproof reporting. Okay, it's transparency and assurance and an unbiased opinion. Okay, unbiased is very, very important. So IGI doesn't trade, we don't buy or sell. We are purely authenticating and certifying diamonds, gemstones, and jewelry. So basically, as I mentioned earlier on, we were the first in the world to issue grading reports for finished jewelry, and it's probably more used. A grading report for finished jewelry is probably more used by consumer rather than a report for loose stones, because it contains all the relevant information of the piece of jewelry. So the gold content, the number of stones, the authenticity of the stones, and so on. So it's also there we can co-brand, and that's what we do with Tessera, where it's a co-branded report mentioning, where we issue a report on behalf of the client. And we'll go into a little bit more detail later on. Okay, another very important part of what we do is educating the consumer as well as the trade. We make sure that the industry professionals as well as consumers stay informed, because it's a very rapidly changing landscape, new technologies, new treatments, new equipment. So we are at the forefront of educating jewelry professionals as well as consumers alike. And by streaming the knowledge and the promotion, so basically through our gem blog, which we update on a very regular basis, we inform the trade as well as consumers alike about changing trends in the industry, changing technologies, changing treatments. And basically we contribute to the growth of trust and confidence in the industry. Okay, so IGI grading reports. These are our main reports. There's other ones that we issue, but these are the main reports. So a diamond report, a colored stone report, and a jewelry report. And what is commonly actually called a certificate is probably better described as a grading report. Okay. And we at IGI, we issue more grading reports across multiple locations compared to anyone else in the world. Okay, and I mentioned, so the jewelry report, this is a co-branded report, which my colleague will go into a bit more in more detail later on, which we issue for our hosts. So that's just one example of a co-branded report. Okay, another very important, I think I touched upon it a little bit earlier on already. So we do screening for all the luxury brands, including the Richemont group, the Kering group, the LVMH group, where where their suppliers submit to us, to our laboratories, large parcels of small stones, and we make sure that there is no mixing of natural and laboratory grown diamonds. Sorry, I think I skipped one. So in Antwerp, for example, in 1 year we screen 200,000 carats of small stones, which is more than 20 million small stones per year. And this is basically what we do. We seal them in a tamper-proof bag and return them to the client. Okay, so the detection, I think most of you know, I think most retailers or people involved in the industry will have some sort of basic equipment to screen diamonds. But once a basic screening equipment marks a diamond as fail or refer, that's when it needs to be sent to IGI, and that's when we employ a battery of scientific equipment to determine whether the stone is natural or lab-grown or treated in any way. So that's just some of the equipment that we use in screening diamonds. Okay, this is just a short video clip of what a laboratory is and what we do.